Being an algorithm engineer, that's in your blood. That's in your it's something about trying to solve hard problems, right? And just understanding them really well, and then finding a solution.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. 20-Minute Leaders is a proud supporter of Make-A-Wish Israel and Tech to Peace, and is in proud collaboration with Secret Chord Ventures, J Ventures, Riverside FM, Fusion VC, Birthright Excel, J Impact, Leap, Google for Startups, and Hippo, and in media partnership with CTech. Ronen Dar, welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Thank you so much for being with me today. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me. Good to be here. Happy to speak to you.
Great to have you here, Ronen. You are a co-founder and CTO of an incredible company, Run.ai, which I'm very excited to be here. The last time I saw you, you were speaking to myself and to a group of other folks from 8200 in our group 8200 for Startups, which I think we were hosted in your offices, if I remember correctly, or with Tel Aviv partners or some constellation, which was really cool, because I got into this world of AI, and you, as an algorithms engineer, together with Omri, co-founded a really cool company that's taking the AI revolution to another level and really harnessing a lot of the beautiful aspects of what it is. And so I'm excited to dive into both your world and that of Run.ai and take it from there. So again, thank you very, very much for being here. Tell me a little bit about you as an algorithms engineer. What is your relationship with algorithms in general from an engineering perspective?
Oh, wow, it's taken me a long time ago. I started my career as an algorithm engineer. So, a lot has happened since I was an algorithm engineer. But being an algorithm engineer, that's in your blood. That's in your, it's something about trying to solve hard problems, right? And just understanding them really well, and then finding a solution. So I started my career in Anobit. It was first in Intel. I was like a student in Intel, but my first like full-time job was in Anobit. Anobit was maybe you heard about in Anobit. Anobit was amazing startup. Udi Weinstein was the CEO and founder of Anobit. He came from Tel Aviv University. He was a professor for electrical engineering in Tel Aviv. He's an amazing person. I get to know him really well. So he started around Anobit, and I was working there in the algorithm group. So we built, sophisticated algorithms with coding and an algorithm for getting bits out of storage systems and just decoding them in an efficient way, in a smart way. And that, those days were really, really fun. I saw like how you start a company, how you build it, how you scale it. And the company was at the end sold to Atel. So it was Atel's first acquisition here in Israel. We were, I think, 200 employees when Atel bought us. And now there are, I think, more than 1,000 employees here in Atel's development center.
Wow.
They bought more startups here in Israel. They hired a lot of more people, and really they're doing amazing stuff in this development center. They're building hardware, they're building software solutions. They are in the iPhones, in the Apple Watches, Macs, everything. It was a big success. And I started there. I saw like how it is to be in a startup, scaling that startup. I remember those days that was fun for me as an algorithm engineer. Wow. I learned a lot over there.
And so the transition from an algorithms engineer to co-founding your own company, where was that leap from an entrepreneurial perspective for you?
I mean, listen, I did it. I was an algorithm engineer, and it wasn't a move from Anobit to a founder of a startup. And during my time in Anobit, I also did my master's in Tel Aviv University, and afterwards I also did my Ph.D. So in parallel of me being in Anobit, I needed like more challenge, like academic challenge. And so I went to the academia, and I've been there for many years, and I did my PhD in information theory. And information theory is it's a whole very complex theory on how to get information out of data. And I did my PhD there, so I was doing both industry and academia. And after my PhD, when I graduated, I moved to the States. I did my postdoc, actually. So I've been in New Jersey. I did my postdoc in Bell Labs in New Jersey. And only then I came back to Israel to start Ronen AI. So that's the journey that I took until starting Ronen AI. So yeah.
Very cool. And so what was the world? What was the world that you were living in prior to starting Ronen AI that led to sort of your understanding of what's happening in the algorithm space in the AI world, which brought life to Ronen AI as a company?
Yeah. And as an algorithm engineer, and as I in my PhD studies, I learned how to dive deep into problems, right? In your PhD, you have to do that, right? You taking on a problem and you want to solve it. And to solve it, it's supposed to be a difficult problem, a complex problem, and you must dive into the problem, really understand that well, the problem, and come up with a solution and that solves that problem. So in my PhD, I really understood well how to deep dive into problems. And it was amazing. It was something that I took with me afterwards. And when we started Ronen AI, for me, it was really important to find a problem that is complex and that we can solve, with technology, with deep technology. And I think before we started Ronen AI, both me and Omri, my co-founder, we started from a blank page, essentially. Like everything was possible from our perspective. Like we wanted to choose what we were gonna want to. We knew we want to build a startup, a company, but what we want to do, that was open, and we looked for a problem to solve. And I think one of the first things that we noticed and we studied is the AI space. It was in 2017, and AI, deep learning started to emerge back then. And for us, we really felt that AI is real and it's going to change the world. It's like a big revolution. It's a new technology with new amazing capabilities that for sure will change the world in so many aspects. And the first decision that we got is just to be in that AI space, to be part of that revolution, to help change the world with AI, and we wanted to be there. We knew there will be opportunities that will open for us, and there will be problems to solve. So that was our first decision. We want to be in the AI space, and we want to look for the problem that we want to solve. So we started like that, I guess.
And so if we're looking at... Yeah, go ahead.
No, then it became more complex on finding the problem. And I like to speak about finding the problem that you want to solve when you're starting a company. And that's like the most important thing, I think. And is finding a problem that someone experiences in their day-to-day, and understanding well the problem, the different aspects of the problem, how the persona experience that problem, in how what's the different tools, the different solutions that are out there that might maybe solve the problem. So understanding every aspect of the problem and what surrounds that problem is really, really important. And we did it in Ronen AI. It took us a lot of time, but it was beneficial afterwards. And
what was the big overarching pain point that you saw that engineers have, or that algorithm researchers have when it comes to their work, that you as an orchestration platform figured that you could make a difference there?
Listen, when we started Ronen AI, and the first idea was that we wanted to shrink the time it takes to train AI models. to run those AI workloads. So our first idea was that if we could shrink the time it takes for researchers to train models, then it would be amazing. Because if a model that can be trained in 2 weeks could be trained in like 2 hours, then data scientists and researchers could maybe train the same model on more data and do more computation, or train a bigger model with more parameters, more complex model that can solve maybe even a more complex problem, and they could get more out of it, right? So if we could shrink the time it takes to train models, the data scientists and researchers will find a way to get it back to long time, but they could train bigger models, solve more complex problems, get better accuracy, better performance. So that was the initial idea, and that we started with. We raised money, and we raised from Tel Aviv partners in 2018. We raised $3 million from Ronen Dar, and we started there. But when we started, we saw that that's not really a problem that researchers experience in their day-to-day, right? It's like they have so many problems, other problems, much simpler problems about, relating to infrastructure, to running the Jupyter notebooks, things related to data, and so many problems that are not related to just shrinking the training time. So, and for us, that's when we met the market, when we met people, that's something that we realized quite quickly that we need to change. We need to change the problem that we want to solve, and we did that in the first year. I think it took us time. It took us time to understand that we need to change. But it was one of the things that we did is speaking to people a lot. So we worked quite a lot on getting meetings with data scientists, with researchers, with IT people, with DevOps people that help researchers. So we just worked a lot on creating meetings with a lot of people, just trying to understand their world, their day-to-day, the problems that they experience.
Let's dive, if you will, into the researchers as a sort of a community. And we'll, imagine a traditional researcher wherever in the world working on any problem, whether it be as a part of a group or individually. What is their pain point today in their ability to get a high-end production grade machine learning algorithm to the market?
And so, I think if we look in perspective of infrastructure, right, compute resources, so researchers really depend on the compute power that they get to train their models and so on. They can spend a lot of time on data, on manipulating data, on cleaning data, and doing, most of their time will go on that, just, problems relating to data. But when they get to the point where they start train models, then they also depend on the amount of computing power that they can get access to. And then, what we understood that researchers don't really want to deal with infrastructure, with compute. They just want to run their jobs and that's it, and get, just train their models, iterate, experiment very fast. And so it really collided with us that we really wanted to do things relating to infrastructure, to compute power, right? That's our expertise. We wanted to bring technology to that area. So quickly we realized that the people that we find a joint language was the IT persons, the platform engineers who were building platforms and infrastructure for their AI teams. They had problems with infrastructure. They had problems relating to how to orchestrate compute, how to orchestrate GPUs, how to allocate GPUs, how to manage and make the most out of their infrastructure, and just serve it to their researchers and data scientists. So that's the problem that we solve essentially on how orchestrating compute resources for AI, getting the most out of them, giving tools for platform engineers to manage and to allocate those resources very easily and efficiently. And then the end users are the data scientists, the researchers who are actually running their job, training models, maybe deploying models, and consume those compute resources.
And so if we're looking at what ended up being most useful for these researchers as you started working with them, letting them work with your platform, what were really the tools that you discovered were really the enablers that unblocked them, or the tools that really provided them the most value in reaching good, high quality models? What were really the high moments in your platform that gave them that experience?
So that's a good question. And the tools that we gave them is just tools that abstract the infrastructure. Just letting them get access to computers as fast as possible. Once they're running the models, they're training the models, then it's a different story. It's the tools that they need there is more like MLOps tools. MLOps tools relating to experiment management, like tracking and results of experiments, and visualizing the results, storing them, getting access to those parameters. So experiment tracking, experiment management, visualization tools, those are things that are really important for data scientists. But we're not providing such tools, just to be clear. We're like integrating with other tools that provide those tools, for those like MLOps tools that we integrate with. And we're coming more from the infrastructure angle, and we'll help platform engineers to integrate different MLOps solutions, different MLOps tools like experiment management and others. And so we help them integrate those tools very easily, and then researchers can use them in a simple way. And then
awesome,
right? And I think, when it comes, and it really depends also on where the organization is, right? That we work with a lot of organizations. We're working with big banks, with big automotive companies. They're doing a lot of AI. And we have healthcare customers. Gaming, there are amazing new stuff going on, right? With generative AI and computer vision. We have several customers there, EDU. So it really depends on the type of the company and where they are at their stage of the AI journey. And the simple, there are the advanced users that do more advanced things, and they need more advanced tools. And there are like more simpler, like citizen data scientists, who need simpler tools.
Yeah, makes sense. And so if we're fast forwarding, with the nature of these 20-minute conversations, we have to fast forward, unfortunately, sometimes. When we get to today, more than 4.5 years later, where are we at today with the Run AI?
Oh yeah, well now isn't it?
Yeah, I told you it's a fast forward. I wasn't joking.
We've been for so much in this 4.5 years. Wow, so much. I think the first year for us was about exploring the initial idea and exploring the market and getting and really understanding the problem that we want to solve, the problem around orchestrating infrastructure and compute resources. So that, I think it took us a year, right? That's a lot of time. It took us a lot of time to understand the problem that we want to solve. But once we understood it really well, and we knew how we want to solve the problem also, technology-wise and product-wise and so on. So I think that was the first year. We pivoted, right, to solve that problem for the new persona, like infrastructure, platform engineers, not data scientists. Those are like the main personas for us right now. I think then we had a period of time of building the product, taking it to the market, and really start understanding how to sell it, right? how to go on a meeting with a customer, present a demo, talk about the product, talk about the solution, really touching the problem of the users, the prospects. And it took time, right? It took time, and we did that, right? We had our first customers, really felt the product market fit, right? The traction from the market. Really felt that people loved the product when they start playing with it, right? And there was a period of time of, right, we got to, I think, to 1 million ARR, $1 million ARR. We scaled beyond that, right? That's another period of time. And going from $1 million to $10 million ARR, and then, from $10 million to $100 million ARR, that's a totally new story. But I think every time period in our company was totally different. The challenges were different, and our interactions with people was so different. And me and Omri, if I look on myself, really, we changed along that 4.5 years, very, very much. And I can speak a lot on every period of time that we had. So that's, yeah. And nowadays we're scaling. Nowadays the go-to-market is established, and it's all about growth, but more. We need to do we're planning next year, 2023 right now. And so we need to have like amazing multipliers next year. We're talking about, some multipliers that make you think, right? Like, it's a challenge, right? You need to do much more of what we did until now. So we need to do like 4x, 5x next year, right? That's crazy, like 4x, 5x for what we did until now, right? So that's a lot in terms of building the pipeline, right? Bringing prospects and customers, and in terms of converting that pipeline with salespeople, training those people, so scaling the company. So a lot of challenges relating to that.
Wow. Really, Ronen, this was such a fun conversation. Thank you so much for your time and your insights. I loved going back to the beginning and understanding how you figured out the market and the landscape of these researchers and what they really need to provide the value, the scale of Run AI. We have so much in the middle to catch up on, so I'm already inviting you for some more episodes to do with me. So I appreciate your time and your insights, and best of luck with this upcoming year, which sounds incredible. And so it'll be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.